Your girl has become almost an expert in stress reduction and stress management. And so I thought in this video, I would talk about some ways to reduce stress as an entrepreneur. It is so important. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time certified 7-figure life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, and wearing all the hats and doing all the things creates its fair bit of stress, you know. As I'm recording this, it's been a challenging last month, but in a good way in terms of all the new opportunities that are kind of at my feet right now. It's really exciting, but it's also very stressful because there's a lot of stuff that I have to do. Even as I'm recording this video, I'm already thinking to myself like, oh man, but I have to go home and finish working on that one project because this deadline is coming up, but I'm really excited about this project and I hope that, you know, it all works out. So it's this tension of like wanting all of these things, you know, in many respects, I feel like I'm living in the life that I prayed for and all these different things are coming to me, but it's also requiring a lot out of me, right? And so that on top of just your normal, you know, motherhood stuff and wife stuff and family stuff, it can be a lot. So your girl has become almost an expert in stress reduction and stress management. And so I thought in this video, I would talk about some ways to reduce stress as an entrepreneur, especially as a woman entrepreneur, because it is so important. All right, the first way to reduce stress, and really this is the biggest key for anything, let alone stress reduction, and that is to adjust your mindset, right? How we think often informs our reality. We've heard perception is reality, and I believe that that is so true. In fact, there's two particular mindset shifts that I find you need to make as an entrepreneur that will significantly reduce your stress. And the first one is that most things aren't fatal. Some things are fatal, right? I was talking to my son after picking him up from kindergarten and he was telling me about black widow spiders and I was like, ooh, don't want to get bit by that. I don't know if that's fatal, but I think it might be fatal or close to it. It has the potential to be fatal, right? There are some things that are fatal in life. Many of the challenges that you will experience as an entrepreneur, quite frankly, are not fatal. I know it can feel that way in the moment, but as Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable. And so just really owning that mindset, yes, feeling it and saying like, oh, this challenge that I'm coming against, you know, is not fun. And yes, it's very stressful, but always keeping that in the back of your mind that, you know what, it's not fatal. I'm gonna live to see another day. I'm gonna live to figure this out. And when I'm on the other side of this, I'm gonna be like, you know what, I'm actually really glad that this happened because it challenged me, it forced me to grow, and it forced me to innovate and come up with new ideas that I might not have come up with had I not encountered this particular challenge. So always remember that your mindset is everything, but you wanna make sure that you are not seeing everything as fatal. Most things, particularly in business, are not fatal. But the second mindset that you really wanna own and really wanna adopt, especially if you're a new entrepreneur or you're growing a startup, or even if you've been in business for a while and, you know, things are growing and, you know, it's just a lot of stress, is that everything is imperfect before it is impressive. I'll say that again. Everything is imperfect before it is impressive, meaning the very things that impress you, wow, that's amazing. How did they come up with that? Oh, that piece of technology. Understand that it was imperfect and it had to be iterated over time. This very iPhone, right? This iPhone is impressive. There's a lot of different things that it can do, but if you look at the iPhone 1, if it was even called that, the original iPhone that came out in 2005 or 2006 didn't even have a quarter of the features that the iPhone has today, right? It was really impressive even back then, but it was certainly imperfect. And so we have to really allow this. I think oftentimes we create unnecessary stress just in our own mind because we're stressed out about things not being perfect. And, you know, we have these grand visions of ultimately how we want things to be. And when they don't measure up to that from the very beginning, we create all this undue stress, which is not good. We store it in our bodies, we store it in our systems. And so I find just adopting the mindset that everything is imperfect before it is impressive really calms me down, at least personally, because I know that while I'm not happy about the imperfect state, I'm willing to go through it. I'm willing to learn the lessons in order to kind of shape things, because I know once I get it exactly to where I want it to be, everybody will be asking me, oh my goodness, how did you do that? And I'll be thinking like, oh, well, did you want to really go through what I went through in order to perfect this thing that you're impressed with? Because when I first started, it was definitely imperfect. We have to allow imperfection to eventually turn into our impressive results. All right, the next thing that you'll want to do in order to reduce stress as an entrepreneur is actually slow down, which I know is like sacrilege to say to an entrepreneur. What you mean slow down? Like, we don't slow down, we're entrepreneurs, that's what we do. listen to me. You actually want to slow down in order to go faster. So there's a quote I love. I believe it's a military quote. I'm not sure where I picked this up from, but I think it has something to do with the Marines. And it is this quote that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And I say this to myself all the time because it's such a good reminder that sometimes if you want to catapult further, you actually need to slow down so that you can focus. I find that oftentimes the stress, and I raise my hand, right, because I'm in the throes of this right now, is because we take on too much, right? We take on a lot of different things. As entrepreneurs, we are easily excitable. We're excited by all the various opportunities, and there's a propensity to try to bite off more than you can chew. But I find that if you just slow down and focus on one thing that's high priority, that's very key, right? So if you don't know how to identify your priorities, I highly recommend that you check out my video about how to set goals like a millionaire, because I walk you through that via a book that really inspired me and taught me that process. But once you've identified your priorities, slow down and just focus on that. And you'll find that why it might be slower for you in the days or in the weeks or even in the months, you'll find that year over year, you're actually moving faster than someone who's biting off more than they can chew, right? In the meantime, it seems like, oh my goodness, they're moving faster because they have their hands in so many pies day to day or week to week or month to month. But you'll find that they are accomplishing less year over year and they're not having the ability to move projects across the finish line. So slow down if you want to move faster and you'll reduce your stress in the process. All right, one of the biggest ways to reduce your stress as an entrepreneur that not enough people take advantage of is partnering. Yes, partnership, right? Your burden gets lighter if you have someone to bear it with you. And by partnership, I don't always mean like a formal legal partnership where you and your business partner go down and set up an LLC and you split it 50-50. It doesn't always have to be this legal partnership. Sometimes it could be strategic partnerships, meaning maybe you have business friends. I have what I like to call business besties. So I have plenty of other entrepreneurial women, either in my industry or in related industries, that I have done joint projects with, or they've helped me. They've made a contact or a connection for me. Maybe there was something that I was trying to do and I was trying to do it on my own, and they're like, girl, what are you doing? I know this person who can make a phone call and get that done for you. Let me go ahead and connect you with them. And they've like lifted this huge burden that would have taken me so much time and so much energy. They were able to do that in one fell swoop. So it doesn't have to be a formal partnership, but you do want to open yourself up. So again, this is a mindset thing. You want to open yourself up to receive from other people and to collaborate with other people. And I find that this is very difficult for entrepreneurs because a lot of our stress comes from the fact that we're control freaks, right? We want to do everything our way. And so this idea of partnering feels scary because there's this, releasing some control to somebody else who is ultimately looking to support you. So this is where having really good partners comes in. Obviously, you want to partner with people with integrity, partner with people who have a proven track record, partner with people that you actually can depend on, right? Because you don't want to partner with the wrong person and then that just, adds to your stress, right? The idea is partnering will reduce your stress because essentially someone is willing to take the load for you. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. What's your favorite way to reduce stress as an entrepreneur? Share in the comments below. All right, speaking of favorite ways, one of my favorite ways to reduce stress, this is actually the fourth way, is to make self-care mandatory. Yes. Particularly as women entrepreneurs, we think that self-care is like this indulgence, it's this luxury, we feel guilty about it, oh, I should be working, people are gonna think I'm a diva, why are you at the spa in the middle of the day? Again, it's me, I'm her. I raise my hand. I'm always, not always, but I'm at the spa in the middle of the day as often as needed when I find that I'm having a high stress week or a high stress month. Again, I make self-care mandatory. For me, something as simple as riding on my bike. I'm one of those crazy Peloton moms. If you're a Peloton person, put your screen name in the comments below. Maybe I'll follow you and we can duke it out on the bike. But I love it. I love the, sweat. I find that it just helps me really reduce stress. And I love all the little like motivational catchphrases that the instructors do. They're like, this is this last push up the hill. I want you to envision everything that you are conquering, everything that you are overcoming in these last 30 seconds. If you can hold on, you're gonna conquer that thing. And I'm like, yes, right? I'm inserting everything that is stressing me out with every pedal. I'm like, oh, I'm conquering that mountain, right? So for me, working out is self-care, getting massages is self-care, just putting myself in different environments. It might be something as simple as treating myself to a lunch. I've talked ad nauseum about my CEO lunches on this channel, these fancy weekly lunches that I take myself out on. But sometimes it's just going to a different park that I haven't been to before and I just, like to feed the ducks or just, be walking around in that park. Or sometimes it's checking out a different coffee shop. Sometimes it is going on a weekend staycation or a weekend vacation, right, with my husband, just a little quick trip, somewhere. We went to LA recently. You can check out that vlog here on the channel as well. I find that making time for all of these things really, really reduces my stress. All right, and the fifth way, which I actually see this as a part of self-care and it being mandatory, but this is guilt-free play. And I say this because I know as an entrepreneur, when there is a gazillion things that are on your plate, you have this feeling that you always need to be working or that you're irresponsible if you're not taking action on something, because something is always on fire, right? But you do want to make time for guilt-free play. And so this could be going out to dinner with friends, again, visiting family, taking yourself out for something fun. You want to disconnect and unplug and make sure that you are doing things that have nothing to do with your business. I would say at least once a week, but there should be some day where you are like totally off the grid and you're not focused on your work, even though there might be a mountain of work for you to get back to. Now I know that can seem stressful, like, no, I'm gonna be stressed out until this thing is done. So I'm just gonna work, nonstop for an entire year until I've gone through my to-do list. But again, that creates more stress. I find that, blowing off some steam, giving yourself the grace of guilt-free play, doing something that is fun and is completely disconnected from your business often helps you get through your work faster when you get back, because you're more refreshed, you are more creative, you have more innovative ideas about different ways to achieve things, and oftentimes you just have a different perspective. I cannot tell you how many times I've had something on my to-do list and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the end of the world. It's gonna take so long. And then I said, you know what? I know I have a lot to do, but this Saturday I'm engaged in some guilt-free play. I'm gonna hang out with friends. I'm gonna go, whatever, putz around in the backyard with my kids. I'm gonna, go furniture shopping and look at things to decorate my house. Like, I'm gonna do something that's completely unrelated to my business. I find that when I get back to my business on Monday, I'm able to knock through those things a lot faster, even though it felt insurmountable just the week before, simply because I was tired, right? But now that I'm refreshed, I have more energy and I'm able to do it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed these 5 ways that I reduce my stress as an entrepreneur. Now, I know one thing that is always gonna cause stress for entrepreneurs is the inability to get clients, right? That completely stresses you out. And if that's something that you're like, oh, I would like to use these tips, but listen, I gotta figure out how to get clients in the door, I gotta make some money, I'm trying to grow my business, I'm trying to quit my job, or whatever it is that you are trying to do, then I invite you to register right now for my free client attraction masterclass. It's completely free and it walks you through the process that I still use to this day in order to attract clients. So I hope this masterclass will reduce some stress for you. Watch this masterclass and then go ahead and do the different strategies that I shared in this video. But with that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next YouTube video, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on both Instagram and TikTok. It's CourtneyLSanders on both. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.